This is a 22 News Storm Team weather alert.
Good morning. It is 4:45 on this Christmas Day morning. Wet and windy. Rain picked up overnight, as did the winds. Really rather strong this morning. 22 News reporter Katrina Kincaid is live in West Springfield with a look at current conditions outside as the storm continues.
I'm on Piper Cross Road in West Springfield, a road that typically has a lot of flooding when we have rain like this, and it's not actually that bad. One of the biggest issues out here actually is the wind. It's knocked over some of our equipment while it's been out, but really not that bad on the roads. On this road, side street. Now on the main roads, it was a little bit of a different story. A lot of water out there, so be careful if you are driving, of hydroplaning out there, just because the amount of water we're seeing coming, not just from it being very warm out here, but also from the snow melting as well. From this rainfall, the snow melting, lots of water on those roads, so be careful, drive slower than you typically would. Now what's causing that, as I said, the extra water comes from a lot of that snow that's been melting, as well as the rain that we have coming down right now. Not too hard though, luckily. Now remember, do not drive through a flooded area if you do happen to see one. Classic thing that we always say, is turn around and don't drown. Now we're going to go back to 22 News Storm Team meteorologist Nick Bannon.
Yes, so at least the worst of this storm is going to be wrapping up by 9. That means between now and then it's still going to be really rainy and really windy. Now at 9 o'clock, it's not like the rain and wind stops. It's just not going to be as bad after 9 o'clock as far as both rain and wind are concerned. This weekend is looking colder but drier and brighter, so more typical for us for the final weekend of 2020. Next bigger storm potentially comes in New Year's Eve. So we just are not getting a break here this year. Here's our ESP live Doppler radar. Rain picking up throughout most of Hampden County, where you see the yellows and oranges there. It's pretty heavily raining, and that includes into Hampshire County too. Head north of, say, Hadley and Amherst, and the rain is not nearly as heavy in Franklin County and into the Berkshires right now, at least temporarily. But all this heavy rain in Connecticut is continuing to move from basically south to north. So even if you're getting a little break from the rain, it will pick up. There's another break from the rain along I-87 in New York, and then west of that, the rain picks up again. So it's going to be a wet morning and wet into at least the first half of the afternoon. The back edge of this storm is right here. And I expect that back edge clears our area later this afternoon or into the early evening. So you can see heavy rain around here through 7 o'clock this morning, 8 as well, but by 9 that shifts to our east, and then we still deal with rain, just not as heavy for the rest of the morning. Still raining midday, just not as heavily raining. And then into the afternoon, the showers linger with us as well, although not as widespread and not as consistent. Into the evening, we dry out, except a few flurries and sprinkles that could get thrown around a little bit. This is 9 o'clock. You see some flakes in the air, mostly in the Berkshires. I know, don't get too optimistic about seeing flurries tonight. If you wanted snow on Christmas, it's generally going to be confined to our western hills. Tomorrow, pretty decent day. Sun in the morning will give way to a sun-cloud mix here for the rest of the day. High temperatures in the low 30s, much cooler. Temperatures are really going to change quite a bit here over the next 24 hours. This is our temperature cast at 6 in the morning, 60s and upper 50s. But then the colder air starts to spill in once we get closer to 9 o'clock. We're in the middle 50s, and some areas already in the 40s by 9. The temperature's dropping even more as we head through the afternoon, so that by the end of the afternoon, most of us are in the 40s, especially west of 91 into our western hills. East of 91, you may be closer to 50 at 4, but it's certainly still colder then than it is now. Temperatures will continue to fall as we head into the night. 40s turning to 30s and 20s by 9. Any leftover puddles could freeze over, although at least we'll have some time to dry before that happens. And then we start in the 20s tomorrow and only end up in the 30s. So rain and wind, the worst before 9. We start with highs 60 to 64, and then we drop down into the 40s later today. A shower or flurry this evening early on. Otherwise partly cloudy, breezy but not as windy, temperatures 24 to 28. And then a sun-cloud mix and colder tomorrow, highs 30 to 34. Here's our 22 Storm Team 7-day forecast. Brighter for Sunday. It's our pick of the weekend, but either day is fine for getting things done outdoors. 37 degrees. We do have the chance for a light rain snow mix here on Monday. Shouldn't be a big deal. Highs of 43. Mainly it's raindrops during the day and some snowflakes in the evening. Tuesday, sun and clouds, 32. 38 on Wednesday, sun and clouds, and New Year's Eve on Thursday could feature another storm. Another one that is mainly rain. If the rain begins too soon, it could be freezing rain. But at this point, we're thinking it probably begins just late enough to begin as regular rain, although plenty of time for that to change.